Hi, my name is Julie, and I wanted to welcome you to my art studio, which is in Hertfordshire in the UK. I wanted to explain a little bit about what I do and why I do it. How I grew up in a background where art wasn't allowed. Well, it was a hobby. It was definitely a hobby. It was definitely not anything that would be considered a viable job or career or anything like that. It was just classed as something that you could do once you had finished everything else that was on your list of things to do. And if you had enough time at the end of the day or the end of the week, then that was fine. And that's how I was brought up. And I think an awful lot of people have that same kind of belief and upbringing with art, that it's not classed as a proper job, and that really you should be doing something else. And you can do that in your spare time, if you've something to do at weekends, on a Sunday afternoon, if you're up to date. Anyhow, I call BS on that. I believe that art is for everybody. Yes, for some people it is just a hobby. For other people, it's a career. You look around you, anywhere you look in a magazine, you look in the supermarket, you look at a label, you look at the television, you look at the internet. All around you there are artists. Go to the galleries and all your main kind of art portraits, but no matter where you look, we are a world, we're created by artists, and I think artists are really important. And we should be seen as that. Anyhow, so that's my background, and I also believe that because of that and through that, I believe that art should be for everybody. I don't think it should be like, oh well, I've never painted, I can't draw a straight line, I can't do this, I can't. You hear it all the time. I think art should be for everybody. I don't think it should be elitist. I can't stand divides of I've got an art background and you haven't, and blah blah blah. I don't care. Personally, I have experienced and I know the benefits of working and painting and drawing. That's why there's a whole industry of art therapy coaching. They're even getting to the point where it's art on prescription. There are now studies going into the benefits of art in people's lives and the healing properties of it. It's massive. So my art journey is relatively new. I only really started in 2011. It's now 2019, so 8 years. But because of that, I'm really passionate that art should be for everybody. It shouldn't be, well, I'm a proper fine artist and therefore you're this. No, should be for everybody, no matter what level you're at, and whether you just want to do it for a hobby or whether you want to do it as a career, fine art, whatever. I think there's a place for everybody with that. And that's why I do what I do. So what do? I do paint with all sorts of mediums, but my primary focus at the moment is painting with beeswax, which is also called Encaustic Wax. It is the most beautiful, therapeutic, tactile thing ever, and it's hardly known at all in the UK. Quite well known in the States and Canada, but UK and Europe, definitely not so much. And it's so I'm hoping to change that a little bit. So it is just lovely to apply. So if you haven't seen it before, just have a look through my website. There's loads of information on there, YouTube channel, loads of stuff on there. So who is that painting with beeswax for? A complete beginner could just have fun with it, painting with an iron. And because of that, I do wax and wine nights. Come in 2 hours. It's not a major stress. It's pretty low cost. All the details are on the website. Look for wax and wine. And the idea is just have fun. Don't worry about what you create. You'll go away with a variety of small cards that you've created, and you'll just look at them and go, oh, I really like that. Oh, that's good. And it's just about enjoying the process, and that's why I run those. And you don't have to drink wine. You can have a soft drink, tea, coffee. It's just an opportunity to forget life and just come and play and be creative and enjoy the process. Don't worry about the results and the outcome. That's irrelevant. It's just about the experience and enjoying it. So these are really ideal for a group of girls together, a group of friends, maybe somebody's birthday, a mother and daughter time. It's a lovely thing to do. People have brought grandparents along, all sorts of different things. I got a request for a hen do the other day. You know, you want something a bit quieter in the middle of the day. So that's what they're aimed at, just literally just having fun. So that's my total beginners and what have you. The next thing I do is, it's also, wax painting is also a very ancient art form, dates back 2,000 years and used to be used in portraiture by the Egyptians on the Egyptian mummy face masks. So there's a really rich and fascinating history there. If you want to delve into it, great content for you know, students that are learning art, something different portfolio to maybe one that of the more mainstream mediums. But I also teach those techniques. So that is painting in a different style. It's a beeswax with a Damar resin added to it. And this style you kind of layer up in layers. And it's a very different, so although still called encaustic wax painting, it's a very different medium. And there are a lot of, you know, there are health and safety considerations you need to take into account. So there are sort of two very different ends of the spectrum: wax and wine, and painting with an iron for a fun beginner, just wanting to experience applying wax, and the wax and Damar, I call them R&F workshops, but that's just the brand of waxes that I use. It's one of the only ones I can really get in the UK. But yes, that can be used in fine art, portraiture, beautiful mixed media. You layer it up and add mixed media in it. You can get quite sculptural with it. It's the most amazing medium ever. So I paint with that style as well, and I run workshops in those techniques, and I have started doing some VIP art retreat weeks. There are so few encaustic wax artists around, and most of us are really isolated. We're on our own in the studio, and you start second guessing your techniques and this, that and the other. So I've created these art retreat weeks for like-minded people to come together. It's only 4 people here in my studio, and we just enjoy the process and immerse ourselves with time, sharing time with other encaustic artists who just get it. Most of the time you say you paint with beeswax and people just go, what? So yeah, so I do those as well. So in addition to those sort of two ends of the spectrum, I also have online courses. So if you can't get to me in the UK, you can then learn from home, learn yourself from home online. My intention is to break down these barriers of fear of going to a workshop, of being afraid to go and do this, of, you know, just the art hierarchy. Sometimes you can kind of go into an art studio or a gallery and it's quite intimidating. It can be quite scary if you're not used to that background. And I'm just all against that. Just make it as open and accessible as anything. So one, from the teaching people how to paint side. In addition, my own artwork here, I sell it directly from my studio. So if you're interested in looking, I have open sessions where you can just come and view it, or make an appointment to come and see me. Come and have a look. Fine. No, it will be like this. You have a cup of tea, have a look around. If something takes your interest, great. If it doesn't, that's fine too. I've got cards and gifts and little bits and pieces. But you know, there's no pressure, life should be friendly and supportive and helping each other out, and that's what I'm trying to do. That's basically why I'm doing what I'm doing. Also, encaustic wax supplies are really difficult to get in the UK, so I also supply all of the encaustic wax equipment as well. Pretty much if I haven't got it in the studio, I can normally get it in. So I do that as well. So I've kind of got the 3 veins. I've got the supplies, the wax workshops for complete beginners who say they can't draw a straight line, through to fine artists, and I sell my art as well. So I've said I don't have the background in art, but when on my workshops, what I say is I teach techniques. There is a specific methodology in applying beeswax, and I teach you the techniques. So I will sort of show you how to apply all of those things, give you the ideas, and then you kind of go and spark them off, and magic happens when these workshops go on. They are amazing. People love them, get great feedback, great testimonials, and it's just a really nice time and space to come and immerse yourself. So anyhow, enough chit chat. That's a little bit about who I am, what I do, and really why I do it. yeah, just trying to kind of make the art world a little bit more accessible wherever you're coming in from. Anyway, hope you find that helpful. Bye.